name's Gordon Bowen from JTech. Today I'm going to show you how to do a pre-alignment inspection. It's international. First thing we're going to do, get your tire pressure gauge. Your steer axles, it's preferred. PSI is 110, but that could vary between fleets. Some people want to run their tires at different pressures, but the most likely usual preferred air pressure is 110 for steer axle. So right at 110. That would be good. Alright, now we're going to jump over here. Alright. Right at 110, so that would be inspect. You don't need to take any air out or put any air in these tires. We're going to jump back to the drive axle. For your drive axles, the preferred PSI is 100. Like I said, depending on the fleet, you run whatever they would want you to run. It's about 101, so that's good. Check this inside tire. Check that again. Right at 100, that would be good. About 101. That one would be good too. I can get this cap back on here. There we go. Check our inside. About right at 100. So those would be good. While we're back here, doing a pre-alignment inspection, so you would want to check your suspension components, check your shock absorbers, make sure they're not leaking anything or looking out of the ordinary low. Check your leaf springs, make sure you don't have any cracked or bent leaf springs. Your U-bolts, holding down the leaf spring, make sure those are tight, they don't have any cracks. Go to the other side, everything looks good over here. So again, you check your shock absorber, make sure you're not leaking anything out of the ordinary. Same thing with your leaf springs, check the U-bolts and mounting brackets for any cracks or bending. Use your tire tread depth gauge, and on a steer axle, the speculation for the tire tread depth on the steer axle would be no less than 4 30-seconds. You stick that down in the tread, maybe about 15-30 seconds. And I personally would check it on inside and outside of the tire, because on the steer axle you could have inside or outside wear if you have bad suspension components. 15-30 seconds, so those would be good. So this one, about right at 14-30 seconds on the inside. About right at 13 on the outside. If you have an inside or outside wear, you can have a camber issue, and that can be fixed before you do your alignment for a proper alignment. So now, for your drive axles, it'll be no less than 2 30 seconds. 9 30 seconds. just like the front, you check inside, outside, just to make sure. Be safe. 9:30 seconds again. The tire's good. About 9 or 10, 30 seconds, give or take. 9 or 10 again, give or take. So those will be good. About 10, 30 seconds. That one's about 11, 30 seconds, so that'd be good. 10, 30 seconds again. So while you're checked, that's fine. Now what we're gonna do, you're gonna get your jack and put it up, center it in the middle of your I-beam axle. We're gonna jack the front two tires up off the ground. Get them just off the ground. What you want to do is get your any kind of pry bar you can stick up under your front tires right here. So in this test, we're going to check for bad ball joints. I'm going to stick this pry bar under here and pry up and down. If you have any kind of play or movement, then you need to replace your ball joints before you even think about doing your alignment. Just slide this up under here, put it up and down, pretty stiff, so that would be good. And while we have this jacked up in the air, we're going to check your kingpins. To do that, you're going to grab one hand at the top, one on the bottom, and you're going to shake it back and forth. Any kind of play, inward or outward, you would have bad kingpins on this side, and you would need to replace that. Now to test the wheel bearings, instead of grabbing one at the top and one on the bottom, we're going to go one on each side. We'll wiggle it back and forth. It's pretty stiff too, so you would have good wheel bearings too on this side. If you have any play, just like the kingpin, you need to replace that before your alignment, because that can throw your alignment off. Just like the other side, you can check the ball joints, stick your pry bar up under here, up and down, no play or movement, so your ball joints will be good on this side. Check your kingpins again, no play, wheel bearings, no play, so you would be good on that. Now what we're gonna do, jack out of the way. Go ahead and let this back down, get it out of your way. Now we're gonna open up the hood. Now we're going to check your front suspension components. Make sure you don't have anything worn out or bad. Just like the back, you're going to check your leaf springs and U-bolts and mounting brackets for any cracks or bending. And unlike the back, you have your tie rod ends up here. You're going to move them back and forth real hard. If you have any play in those, then you would need to replace your tie rod ends. Or maybe even something crazy like a bent cross tube. That would definitely need to be replaced. And your shock absorbers. Make sure the cartridges aren't leaking or blown out. Now we're going to move to the other side. Now over here, get your pitman arm and your drag link. Make sure you ain't got any kind of play out of the ordinary. These are all nice and stiff, so those will be good. Your steering arm, make sure there's no out of ordinary play in there. Check your shock absorber again. Your leaf springs, U-bolts, and brackets, no bending or breaking. After that, that would wrap up your pre-alignment inspection. And that's how you do a pre-alignment inspection.